Hello, 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 booktubing world. It is I, Capri Nicole, and I'm back with another video. Hello everyone, my name is Capri Nicole. I don't know if you're new here or if you're an OG subscriber here on this little island. On this channel I talk about books. All my content is book related or cosplay related, yada yada, blah blah, whatever. I have Instagram, I have a Tick of the Talk, I have a Goodreads, and I also have an Amazon wishlist. So for anyone that was asking how they can support my channel, feel free to buy your girl a book because I love books. That's the best way to show me love. Buy me some books, you know what I'm saying? So if you're a new subscriber here, welcome. Make sure you watch all my old content because my content is just full of flavor, you know what I'm saying? And if you're an OG, welcome back. Okay. Alright, so today on our little island, I'm going to be recommending you books based off of another book. But we're only going to be having books by black authors or with black main characters. Because, you know, I want to see the black people win, you know what I'm saying? And I know y'all want to support diversity, support black authors, support. So I'm here to help you out. If you see any of these books on here that are some of your favorites, some tropes that you love, some things that are just like ringing a bell and you're just like, I give that 5 stars, I would love to check out this book, then feel free to add it to your TBR list. I have 10 books here, and of course, I have a notebook. I have so many different notebooks, but like, if you're an OG here, you know I always have some type of notebook because I need notes. Your girl talks too much and I need to stay on task, okay? I have 10 books here and I'm not going to be holding the books up because anyone that is a content creator, especially book content creator, when you end up taking books off your shelves and off your carts and out of all in your apartment and your house, it turns into a catastrophe after, and I'm not trying to clean up. I'm not trying to do that. So of course I will put the books up on the screen so you guys can see them, but I'm not holding the books. I do own some of them, but I'm simply not. 3 of these books on this list I have not personally read yet. I'm trying to do this thing where I don't recommend books I haven't read yet because just like why do I keep doing that? I don't know why. I really just don't know why. I don't know, but I should only be recommending books that I've actually read and I actually can speak on, you know what I'm saying? But I probably still am going to recommend books I haven't read if I feel like someone would enjoy them, but I'm trying to make sure I recommend books that I have actually read. So 7 of these books I've read, 3 I have not. So let's get into these lists. Alright, so the first one on the list is if you liked The Hating Game, which is a hate to love office romance, then you will also like The Replacements. The Replacements is a black office romance book. The tropes that I enjoyed are the fact that we have a grumpy and a sunshine main character, we have a housewife main character, we have older characters as well. I feel like every damn book that come out now, everybody's 18 to 22 and it's like, where the old people at? These characters are in their late 30s and I think Taurus is 40 or approaching 40, so they're older characters. This book follows the main characters who are Savannah and Taurus. Savannah just ended her marriage and she's trying to basically revamp her life. She's very smart with how she did it to make sure that she had a job because she has been a housewife for a long amount of time, so she doesn't really have any type of job description to be able to give her a head up in the job market. So she uses her husband with his cheating ass to get a new job and then leave him. So she did a smart evacuation plan. She made sure she had her bag secure so that she could take care and provide for herself and she wouldn't need to depend on her husband anymore, and she just jumped ship and she's basically restarting her life. She's now working at this office as a assistant, and she's an assistant to this really mean ass boss. And the thing that I like about this book versus like The Hating Game, no shade to The Hating Game, but a little bit of shade, I'm gonna throw the whole tree. I really didn't like it like that. It was mediocre. And the main character they were saying was grumpy. We never saw his ass be grumpy, ever. But with this book, you actually got to see the main character be mean and be grumpy and interact with other people in the office. You also got to see his motives, and he was a very driven, determined person. He had a set number in his mind, a set goal in his mind, and he was really working towards that. There are also brothers in this book, which I am starting to really enjoy. If you like The Hating Game, you'll definitely like The Replacements, and it's steamy and it's fun and it's just a good time. That's number 1. one done. So the second book on my list is if you like To All the Boys I Loved Before, then you will also probably like Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. This book follows our main characters Quinn and Carter, and Quinn writes literally everything down. She has this notebook where she writes lists, where she writes goals, where she writes secrets. She writes all of it in this notebook where it's basically like her diary but in a list format. So she has like a ton of lists that are like, oh, I'm gonna do this before I turn 18, or I haven't done this yet, or I'm lying about this, or stuff like that. And she ends up losing that notebook, and she thinks that the person that took her notebook is Carter because he was over her house helping her study, or they had like a project together, something like that. So she's accusing him of taking her damn notebook, but he's telling her, I don't have your notebook, I don't know where it is. So he's trying to help her find it, and they end up, you know, being friends. Whoever got their hands on her notebook ends up trying to blackmail her and puts her business out on Instagram and kind of forces her to be truthful about the things that she lied about, because obviously in the notebook, they read it, it has all of her business up in there. So she's kind of pushed in a corner to where she has to own up to her mistakes and be honest with who she actually is, be honest with her parents, be honest with her friends. It's also a coming of age story because she is a suburban black girl. Suburban black girls kind of feel out of touch with their blackness, so her hanging out with Carter and her hanging out with Carter's best friend kind of gives her the opportunity to see a different type of lifestyle in regards to the black experience. I mean, either way, she's still damn black. It don't matter if she's in the suburbs or if she's in the hood, she's still black. But you know, she wants to feel that experience, and she gets closer with Carter and his best friend, and it just follows that. So it's very similar to All the Boys I Loved Before, because obviously in To All the Boys You Loved Before, she wrote like letters or something like that. She wrote letters, and then they ended up getting mailed out to all the boys that she wrote those letters to. So it's very similar in that sense, where some private information gets put out, and it's a young adult thing, it's a little romance, it's cute, and it's fun to follow along, and I love the cover, so definitely check that one out. Okay, number 3 is if you liked the Princess Diaries, then you will also like American Royalty. American Royalty follows a main character. Her name is Duchess, and she's a rapper in America. The prince, his name is Jameson, and basically because he's a prince, the queen has decided that she's trying to get the people to like the royal house a little more. As time goes on, people are starting to realize they don't really need kings and the queens and hierarchy and all that shit. They're getting fed up, tired of them. So she comes up with an idea to have a concert to try to connect more with the people. She has her team come up with who's gonna actually be at the concert, and they all just pick random people. Prince doesn't actually have someone to recommend, but he ends up saying Duchess because someone recommended her, and he didn't know she was a rapper. He didn't know who she was. He just heard Duchess and thought, okay, well, it sounds like royalty, you know, let's go with that. And she is like very Megan Thee Stallion. Like, imagine the queen having a concert and Meg Thee Stallion showing up. So she ends up going to the castle and staying with them in order to get ready for the concert, and they end up falling in love. And it's just, baby, when I say steamy, it's not the steamiest I've read, but it is a good time. And I really, really love the main character, because if you don't know, I am a hottie. I love Meg Thee Stallion. And I just love when opposites attract. You know, I love when someone that's so stiff and haughty and very professional like falls in love with someone that's a little bit ratchet. She's Sophista ratchet, I'ma say. She's Sophista ratchet. She ain't like completely hood, but she, you know, she got that zhuzh to her, okay? So when they mixed together, I just loved it, baby. I just loved it. I ate it up. I gave it 5 stars. I had to. I recommend reading physically. I don't recommend the audiobooks. Whoever the hell the male voice actor was, he did a terrible job with narrating Duchess. He had her sounding like a slave on the plantation, child. So please, if you're gonna read this book, please read it physically. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought the story was fun. I had a great time with it. I love the main characters. They were fun to follow along with, and this was a good time. And it's very similar to Princess Diaries, because you got, you know, a girl coming into royalty and falling in love and all that. So I basically forgot what Princess Diaries is about, but I know I know they're somewhat similar, okay? Don't hold me to it. I read Princess Diaries so damn long ago, but it is similar in a sense. So Princess Diaries, American Royalty, hand in hand, baby. It's just a little more steamy, just like a lot more flames added to it. Okay, so the next book that I have is, it's a long title, so I have to read it. The Magical Girl's Guide to Life. which is very similar to Sailor Moon. I've said this before in another video, but it's like Sailor Moon and therapy mixed together. Guide pamphlet that helps you build up your character. So you basically start answering little test questions and descriptions, basically questions about yourself, and then in the end you get like, oh, this is what your weapon's gonna be, this is what your outfit's gonna be, this is what your superpower is going to be, this is who your sidekick's going to be. And it's really fun to follow along. Also a story, so she also talks about her life, she talks about her becoming an author, she talks about her struggles with depression and stuff like that. And it's a very open and honest slice of life book. And there's also in the back there is like a graphic novel comic book-esque piece, which is, I think I would say about 15 pages. So it's just a good mix of things, and it's very similar to Sailor Moon, just the girly girl vibe, weapons, the sidekicks, all that stuff. It's just really fun to be able to build your character and see like who your character is going to be, what their personality is, all the stuff they carry with them. She gives a lot of good tips on dealing with mental health and things that she struggles with, and being honest with like things that she has issues with in her life personally and how she overcame them. It's very fun. It was very well done. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I could not recommend this book more. The next book that I have to recommend is, if you liked Act Your Age, Eve Brown, and It Happened One Summer, then you will like A Duke by Default. This book follows our main characters, Portia and Tavish. Portia is basically trying to restart her life child. She's on this apprenticeship at this armory where this guy builds weapons, and he also has classes where he teaches kids how to fight, like self-defense classes. And she's going to be basically his apprentice and learning how to build weapons and build swords. There's also a twin, and her twin is basically like the epitome of perfection, and so she's looked at as like good versus bad, and her parents are kind of fed up with her and her life choices, and she's basically just trying to reset her life and just do things that she enjoys and trying something new. If you've read Act Your Age, Eve Brown, or It Happened One Summer, you can see the similarities. Both of these books have spoiled rich girls. They're girls going into new locations. All of these books have the main character going to a set location to restart their life. All of these books have parents that are fed up with said main character, or their parents are basically cutting them off, or fed up with them, or sick of them, and they're just trying to redo shit, trying to get their life together. I really enjoyed this book. This is a part of the Reluctant Royal series. It's the second one in the series, so I don't think you have to read the first one. Characters from the first book did appear in this book, but you don't have to read it to know what the hell's going on, but you can if you want to. This is my favorite book in the series. I've read all of the books in the Reluctant Royal series, and this was my favorite one. I absolutely loved it. Ate it all the way up. Portia is a very likable character. She's very determined. She's hardworking. You actually get to see her learn how to make swords, and the tension between her and Tavish is just like intense. Okay, very intense, because he's just so damn mean. He just so mean, so grumpy. He's like the Scottish dude that's just like, no, he does not like showing emotions. He stays the hell away from her because she is so fine, so he's just like, I ain't trying to get close to her at all. He's one of those guys that aren't savvy with technology. He's like very old school. I especially enjoyed the royalty being added in towards the end, which was really funny to see. But yeah, these books are very similar, so if you like that, you definitely will like this one. All right, the next book that I have is, if you like Alice in Wonderland, then you will like The Nightmare Verse, which is basically Alice in Wonderland but black. Like it literally is like Alice in Wonderland but urban, modern, and black. And I did a pretty good summary on Goodreads, so I'm basically just gonna read that. My Goodreads reviews be popping, okay? I be doing my thing. I haven't done too many recently, but you know, I'll be doing my thing. So I'm just gonna read what my summary is on Goodreads so you guys can get an idea about what it's about. When Alice loses her father, her nightmares become more unbearable. It literally feels like they're feeding off of her grief. And shortly, she finds out that they were. When she's introduced to the Hatter and the world of Wonderland, she finds out that she's a dream catcher and her abilities are needed. But she also has a normal life to keep in balance. But between training to be the best, her best friends, high school, and her mother, it all slowly starts to overwhelm her. But when a new threat takes someone close to her, it's time to take all she's learned and do everything she can to save the world she's come to know. So that's my summary on Goodreads, I'm just saying. And I absolutely loved her, because the thing that frustrates me a lot of times with thrillers and with fantasy books is how gullible and stupid the main characters are, they go and do shit that does not make sense. If I hear a noise, I'm gonna be one of the people that if I hear a noise, I'm not gonna go see what it is. Okay, unless I have some type of weapon. She questions everything. She questions everything. She always is with the shits. She's not gullible. She's smart. She's calculated. If you like Alice in Wonderland, this is your book. The next book that I have is if you like The Dragon's Bride, then you will probably like Mead Mishaps. I'm basically trying to push the Mead Mishaps agenda on everyone. This is a Kindle book that I read recently and I absolutely loved it. It's fun, it's short, it's cute. She has a novella and then 2 books in this series, and I have not read The Dragon's Bride because if you are new here, I am only reading books by Black authors this year. But when I look at Mead Mishaps, it always has The Dragon's Bride as a recommendation to read as well. So I just figured they're similar in ways, like steamy, and you know, it's by Katie Roberts, so it's gonna be steamy. The cover is gorgeous. The first book in the series follows the main character. Her name is Cinnamon, and after her sister ends up getting kidnapped, she really does not trust the world around her, but she ends up meeting this dragon shapeshifter named Fallon. He basically tells her that the goddess that her people are worshiping is actually a fraud, a scammer, a liar, and he needs her help in order to expose her and to go to all the temples to take away her power. So he's basically asking her to come with him on an adventure to be able to free all the other mystical creatures within that land. You know, we got everybody up in there. He's trying to free all his people, you know what I'm saying? So he needs her help. So basically they embark on this whole journey together in order to take the goddess down. Steamy as hell, okay? This girl can write a steamy fantasy romance. I'm gonna say that. She be doing her thing in the first book, the second book, even the novella. The steam is good. It's very unique. She be doing her thing, I ain't gonna lie. So definitely check that one out if you like fantasy romance, if you like very quirky main characters, fun side characters as well, because there's also a lot of other characters that are introduced. So I feel like if you like just things like that, you will definitely love this book. It's one of my favorites. I just can't stop thinking about it. I absolutely love it. So alright, now this book, it's a stretch, but it's okay. If you like A Court of Roses and Ruin, is that the first book? Child, it's been so damn long since I read them, but basically Akamath. If you like Akamath and you like The Cruel Prince, any books with Fae, then you will like the book Owned. Now, I don't know what this book is about. Let's start there. Let's start there. Not me recommending a book I don't know what it's about, but I saw this book on TikTok. I saw the author talking about it, and she was basically putting up pictures of what her book is going to be like, and it just was like black phase, marriage, fantasy. It just was screaming fantasy. It was screaming black excellence. It was screaming black fae. It's saying this book is coming out in March, but she was saying she's trying to get it to come out in August. We're gonna see. I'm gonna keep my eyes open, okay, on Kindle Unlimited. It just has black phase, and that's all I want in life. I don't even know shit else. I love the cover. I love the way she pitched it on TikTok. This is the only book that I really don't know much about, even on Goodreads. It's not even a synopsis, but this cover and the way that she talked about it on TikTok and her plans and stuff like that, I'm really excited. I hope it goes well. We shall see, because we need more black phase, okay? I need more of that. All right, so the next book that I have is if you like the sweet, what is it called, child? I don't even know. The sweet the sweet Omegaverse, then you will like Power of Lies. So Sweet Omegaverse, I don't know what the hell it's about. All the girlies in the book community absolutely love this series. I've been seeing this shit everywhere, but I know it includes a reverse harem. Now, this book is not written by a black author, but there is a black main character, and it's also a reverse harem. I love the cover, but I don't know 100% what it's about. All of these other books that I'm recommending, I've already read, or I already know what they're about. I'm trying to do this thing where I find books that I like and I don't read the synopsis. I literally have just been scrolling down to the bottom of Goodreads and looking at the taglines, because these synopses are starting to turn into movie trailers where the shit is like 3 minutes long and they tell you from the beginning to the end everything that's gonna happen, and I don't want to know shit. All I know is the main character's name is Jada. She's a badass, she's beautiful, and it's a reverse harem. That's all I need to know. If you personally want to see what this book is about and you want to read that long ass synopsis that I feel like probably gives too much away, feel free. Power of Lies. Go check that one out on Goodreads. All right, so the final book that I have is if you like 7 Days in June, then you will like Before I Let Go. Now, I have not read 7 Days in June yet, but I know and have heard enough about this damn book to know what it's about. It basically follows these two main characters that dated a while ago, and it's like a second chance romance. There's a lot of life struggles that they have to deal with, but they have been brought back into each other's lives, so they're basically trying to just navigate through this new, fresh second chance love. Before I Let Go is not out yet. It comes out in November. It's written by, I think, Kennedy Ryan. I want to say it's written by Kennedy Ryan. The cover is so gorgeous. I don't give a damn. She be writing some long ass some long ass romances, but I gotta support it. I need that cover. Okay, so it comes out in November. This also follows main characters who are going into a second chance romance. They've been together before. I think there's a child involved as well. And I believe 7 Days in June, there's also a child involved. Connection between the two of them is still there, so they are trying their best to navigate through that. So I love a good second chance romance. You know, sometimes life gets in the way and shit goes wrong and you gotta break up and you gotta come back together. And when we come back together, shit ain't exactly how it was when you left it. I love it. I'm trying to eat it up. I want that cover absolutely immediately. So that is all I have. Those are all 10 of the books I have to recommend you guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you've read any of these books, or any of these books you're excited to read, or if you've added to your TBR, or if you've heard of any of these books. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want more videos like this. To get some black characters in your life, okay? Find some new black authors to support and love. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, please leave a squid emoji. I don't know why. Leave a squid emoji if you made it to the end of this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye, little islands.